Hi, I'm Claudia from What's Cooking Italian Style Cuisine, and today I want to show you how I make a really delicious apple coffee cake. Well, first we're going to get started. We're going to have to whip up 1 stick of butter with some sugar until it's nice, light, and fluffy. About 4 minutes this takes. If you don't do this part of the method, it will be a very, very dense, not incorporated well cake, and this really makes it a delicious cake. So it's really important that you do this step for it to be tender. In another bowl, I have already prepared my flour and baking powder. There's a little bit of salt. And what you're going to do is you're going to mix that in after you put in some of the wet ingredients, which right now I'm going to put in 2 eggs. And while I'm doing this and I'm mixing this, I want you to have the oven preheated at 350 degrees while it's hot, and prepare a square cake pan like this and put some Pam on it, or you can grease it with butter if you'd like, but make sure it's heavily greased so that this isn't going to stick. I've used butter. So I've put my 2 eggs in there, and I actually have a ½ a cup of milk already ready. And we're going to put that in, and we're going to stir this in together until we make it all incorporated. And then when this is all incorporated and mixed together, and I'm going to beat those eggs a little bit there, we're going to start adding our flour mixture. So add it a little bit at a time, like half of it. There's probably about 1½ cups of flour and a couple of teaspoons of baking powder. Don't worry, you'll be able to get the whole recipe on my blog, What's Cooking Italian Style Cuisine. So we're going to mix that all together by hand now. I'm not using a mixer. This is really, really simple. Let's get all of that out of there. And I added, about a teaspoon of almond extract. So once you get all of this mixed together, your milk, your eggs, your flour, it's really going to be a thick batter. And before I started, I took 1 apple and I added brown sugar and cinnamon to those apples, which I'm going to show you that are set aside. And here's our apple mixture. And as you can see, it made a nice little juice. And I also made an extra amount of cinnamon and sugar, which I always keep on hand, and I put it in a jar because I like to sprinkle it on top. So now that you have your whole batter incorporated, and see how that looks, it's very thick, you're going to spread a little bit on the bottom of that pan that's prepared, okay? So we're going to put that, and we're going to spread that out. And then once I spread that out, and I'm going to use my spoon here to spread that out, it's really a thick like dough. And then on the bottom there, I'm going to put and pat a little bit of apples, and I'll show you how to. We're going to put a little bit more. I'm going to actually use my fingers just in lieu of time, because I know that you like to have some really quick videos, but I want you to see how easy this is to put together, because a lot of times you read the directions and it just doesn't, you just can't figure out what the person is trying to say in writing. So I spread out my dough, and I'm going to put half this apple mixture in here, and you can take your spoon and just pat it down, okay? As you can see, that's the first layer, okay? And you want to spread that out all the way out to the edges. And there you go. Now we're going to put the rest of that batter over the top. We're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to end up, just plop that right on top, okay? All of it. Don't be afraid to use your fingers. And you're going to spread that over the top of this. And I'm going to do it really quick, because doing the back of a spoon, sometimes it sticks, and I don't mind using my fingers. That's what Italians do sometimes. We like to use our hands, even when we talk. So, now that I've got that all over the second layer, the rest of the apple mixture goes on top. And you're going to want to push this around. You see there's a lot of sugar and nice brown sugar and cinnamon on top. Now for those of you that really like sweet, you could add more. So I'm spreading that around. This is your topping, and I'm pushing, can you see that? I'm pushing down the apple into the batter, making sure that it's all into the top layer there. So just in case you would like the more sugar, hopefully you've made that brown sugar and cinnamon in a little jar that you keep, and you can sprinkle some more on there if you would like. Right now this is ready to pop into the oven, and you bake it at 350 degrees until actually the middle is cooked, and you can use a toothpick to see if it comes out clean. And that method works very well. So that is how you're going to make your quick apple cake. I know I took a little longer to show you, but sometimes watching, it's a little bit easier and it's a little simpler. And you'll see the end results in the picture on the thumbnail on this video. This is Claudia Lamascolo at What's Cooking Italian Style Cuisine. You can get this recipe and many others at my blog. And thanks for joining me today.